Hi everybody, Big Z here, continuing on with our saga with the mega carriers and our CD license. Well, I've quit CRST, I fulfilled my contract, and so therefore I'm done with them. Let me tell you about the companies that, if you're getting ready to get a CDL, the companies that you apply to are one of two kinds. One is they pay for your CDL school and you get your CDL, and then you have a contract with them for a certain period of time and you have to go drive for them for that period of time. Now every one of these companies is the same. It doesn't matter whether it's CRST, Swift, CR England, Celadon, Prime, Knight, doesn't matter. They all operate the same way. They pay for your schooling, you commit to a certain amount of time. Now remember, you're actually paying for your CDL schooling, it's just that you're paying for it with reduced wages. If you could afford to pay for your own schooling and then go out and work for a good company, good mega carrier, even though they're all the same, some of them are better than others, then the increase in money that you would receive would easily pay for your schooling. So if you can, pay for your schooling yourself and go to work for one of the better carriers. But I went to work for CRST. They're a good company. I mean, they're not any worse than anybody else, but they're not better than some of the better ones. The better ones are Prime, Schneider, anyway, there's better companies out there than CRST as far as pay. They all treat you the same way. They treat you like you're just a number. So just realize that. You're just a number. You drive a truck for them, that's it. They don't care your family situation. They don't care how much money you got or don't have. They don't care if you're starving out there while you're driving the truck. They don't care what you look like, how you smell, anything. All they want you to do is drive that truck from point A to point B, and when they tell you to jump, you just go, how high? Anyway, just realize that the better companies pay you more money, but they treat you the same as the worst companies. Now, when you complete your schooling, the first thing you're going to do is go out with a trainer. Now, the trainer is supposed to teach you how to do all of the things required of you as a truck driver. You know, how to get your loads off the Qualcomm, which is the electronic device that keeps track of your hours of service, and it also gives you your loads, where you're going to go, who you're going to deliver to, what time, what day you have to deliver. So the trainer teaches you a lot of that stuff. Now trainers, here's the things they must teach you. You have to know how to back the truck. You have to know how to back the truck when you have plenty of room to back the truck into a parking spot. They have to train you how to back the truck up when you don't have plenty of room to back the truck up. They also need to train you how to back up under the trailer, because if you drop a trailer, well, your career's over, basically. Anyway, and also how to back up to the dock. These new trucks with the automatics, when you back up to the truck, to the dock, the truck does it like a manual transmission. When you back up, you are continually in gear, and you can back up to the dock slowly and not bounce off the dock when you hit it. When you're in an automatic, when you're backing up, they don't stay in gear. When you hit the dock, it shifts into neutral and you bounce off the dock. Now you're 6, 8, 10 inches away from the dock and you got to back up again. because nobody is going to run a forklift over a 10-inch gap between the dock and the truck. Just not going to happen. So you're going to have to back up. Well, what happens is you end up backing up the truck, not full throttle, but with some throttle going, so you're going speed, and then pulling on the brakes to stop you. Sometimes it works, sometimes you bounce off the dock again. Automatics are the worst. And unfortunately, all the mega carriers are going to automatics. Why? They can't get enough people to pass the test with the manual transmission. Anybody can pass the test with an automatic. They are the worst trucks in the world, and the automatic transmissions don't work after about 260,000 miles. Your truck will be in the shop all the time, just getting the automatic transmission retuned, reserviced, and then you don't make no money when the truck is in the shop. Now, the trainer must also be patient, because you're not going to know what you're doing. Yeah, you passed the CDL test, but you still got to learn how things work out in the real world. So they got to be patient. Now, if you don't get along with your trainer, immediately call your dispatcher and tell them, I'm not getting along with this guy, I want a new trainer. Yeah, it may prolong your agony of being with a trainer, but you got to learn this stuff. And if you don't have a good trainer, you're not going to learn it right. And then when you go out on your own, then you're going to have to relearn everything again. And it'll just take you longer to get proficient in the things that you need to know. I mean, getting a load and going to the customer and picking the trailer up and going to the next customer, no big deal. But when you're out on the road, you got to park in truck stops, which are packed to the max. Finding parking is unbelievably hard right now. And you're going to have to back into single holes, meaning just one truck can fit in the spot, and you're going to have to back in there without hitting the trucks on either side of you. That can be tough when it's snowing, when the wind's blowing 40 miles an hour, when it's blizzarding, you're on ice. You can't tell where the trailer is because it's the middle of the night and the truck stop doesn't have adequate lighting. Anyway, there's a lot of things to learn, and your trainer is supposed to teach you all of that. If you have a terrible trainer, get rid of them, get with another trainer. It doesn't matter if it takes another week or two, go to another trainer. You cannot learn from somebody you don't get along with and that is not patient. So that's thoughts on trainers. Okay, team driving sucks. It is the worst kind of driving you will ever have to put up with. Do not go to a company that requires team driving. I made a huge mistake going to CRST because team driving is the worst kind of driving. No, you cannot make more money driving teams. That's a complete lie, and anybody tells you that, they are lying through their teeth. Team driving is the worst way to learn how to drive. Let me tell you why. The truck never stops. The only time you stop is for gas or to switch drivers. So have you been on the roads in Louisiana or Pennsylvania or New Jersey? I mean, they're terrible. They got potholes the size of a Volkswagen. And guess what? You're going to hit them on a regular basis. And your co-driver is back there trying to sleep, or you're back there in the bunk trying to sleep, and you got a little bitty mattress pad about this thick that is, mostly plywood. And when you hit a pothole, it's just like slamming a sword up through your kidneys. And the truck never stops. Meaning, how do you sleep? Well, after 3 or 4 days, you finally get so tired that you do sleep, but you're not. You're not able to drive. Realistically, you're not. So that's a reason not to drive teams. The roads are just horrible out there, and it's hard to sleep on. Also, your co-driver. your co-driver may need help. Well, when he's trying to back into that single slot at 2 in the morning, he's tired, you're tired, you got to get up and go help him. Now you're going to be even more tired the next day, and he's going to trust you to drive the truck with him sleeping back there? No. I did wake up my co-drivers when I first got out of the training period, which was a month. I mean, anyway, and then I realized that waking up your co-driver just means he's tired too. So now you've got a tired driver driving you, and you're back there? No, that's terrible. Then what about laundry? Guess what? You wear the same clothes for 2, 3, 4 days in a row, they start to smell bad, and I mean really bad. So you got to do laundry, you got to do showers, you got bathroom breaks, right? You can't whiz in the truck. A, it's against company policy, and B, sanitary, it's horrible. I had a co-driver, he peed in bottles. Let me tell you, that was the most disgusting thing in the world, to have him throwing out his pee bottles every morning when we switched driving. I put up with him for 3 weeks, because that's how long I had to put up with him before we got back to a place where I could switch to a different co-driver. He was terrible. Another guy that I had as a co-driver was so filthy. I mean, when I was like, I need a hazmat suit to get in this truck. It was so bad. And you clean the truck up, you know, you could spend a week cleaning on the truck, and the guy would have it dirty in one shift. Anyway, don't drive teams. The other thing is co-drivers, they've got to drive the same amount of miles as you do. If you're driving 600 miles, they need to drive 600 miles a day. If they're only driving 300 or 400, well, you're just giving them money because they split the miles. So you do 1,000 miles in a day. You drove 600, they drive 400. You only get paid for 500 miles. They get paid for 500 miles. They only drove 400 miles. What kind of co-driver would do that to you? Well, guess what? They all do it to you. Don't drive teams. Rewards card. Okay, Loves, TA, Pilot, they all have rewards cards. Well, when you go fill up with fuel, you get rewards points. What do rewards points do for you? They pay for your showers. They give you free drink refills, free coffee, food at Loves. You can use your rewards points for food. Well, what happens when you're sleeping, the co-driver fills up the truck? Well, he gets all the reward points. Then the next day, now you got a full truck, you're driving, and you're not out of gas, so what happens the next day? He gets to fill up the truck again in his shift. He gets the rewards points. Now you don't have any showers, so you don't have any free showers. Showers are $14 a pop. Don't drive teams. They're family issues. They have family issues. They're poor money. They have no money management. They're fighting with their wife. Now you're part of it. You're part of their problem. Don't drive teams. As far as company issues, the company is going to want to know where you're at 24 hours a day, and they're going to give you fake delivery times, fake pickup times. Yeah, they lie to you. Just remember, whatever your dispatch says, about 80% of the time it's a complete lie as far as pickup times and delivery times. You look at your bills of lading and you'll see the real time that it has to be delivered by. As long as you make it by the real delivery time, you're fine. Don't let them give you any crap about, oh, that load needed to be there, you know, at 8 a.m. when it says 9 p.m. the next day. So don't believe, your dispatchers. They lie to you on a regular basis. When you go home, go home. Take your home time. They don't care. They'll leave you out there in the middle of nowhere for as long as they possibly can. Take your home time. If you get home time every 3 weeks, take it. 3 weeks on the road in a team truck is a horribly long amount of time. Don't stay out 4 weeks. You may need the money. I understand. You haven't worked during all the CDL class. You don't get paid for a couple of weeks after you start driving the truck. I understand you're 4 or 6 weeks with no paycheck. I can dig it. Maybe you got to stay out for 4, 5, or 6 weeks, but you'll hate every minute of it. But once you get past that time when you finally have caught up on your bills, stay out 3 weeks, stay home the rest of the time. Now, money. Okay, how much money did I make in the time I was at CRST? I averaged $600 to $650 a week, and that's gross, not take home. Knock off 20% of that for taxes. Yeah, $600 to $650 a week. That's all you make. To put up with this crap, that was the worst I could ever imagine. Do not drive teams. All right. The other thing is, it's a complete myth that you make more money with teams. You do not make more money with teams. If you're driving solo and they're paying you 55 cents a mile, and you're driving teams and they're paying you 75 cents a mile, you only get half of it. That's 37.5 cents. You're not getting 55 cents a mile. You're getting half of the money. So you're not going to make more money driving teams, especially when your co-driver doesn't drive the same miles that you do. All right, I've gotten excited. CRST was not that bad of a company, but all the mega carriers are the same. It doesn't matter. You talk to JB Hunt, you talk to CR England drivers, you talk to Knight, Swift drivers. They'll all have the same horror stories, but the team driving is the worst. Go to work for a company that'll let you drive solo. At least once you get past the trainer, hey, you don't have to put up with somebody else. You got to put up with no money, and you got to put up with all the other nonsense that goes with that. But just remember, if the wheels aren't turning, you're not making money. And if you got a co-driver that's not keeping up with you, you're losing money. All right, my next video, that explains team driving and the mega carriers and getting your CDL paid for by the mega carriers. My next video is going to go into my solo driving, which I solo drove for 3 months, and now I'm buying a truck. So all I had to do was get past that first couple of years, and now I'm buying a truck. I'll tell you how it went on buying the truck, what kind of truck I got, and how everything has progressed since then. Thank you, YouTubers. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll be looking at the comments. I will answer your questions truthfully. I'll send you a copy of my W-2 for last year if you're really interested in exactly how much money I made. But I can tell you, it was $650 and per week for the weeks I worked. When I took off, obviously I didn't get paid. You know, you don't get paid when you take off. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please ask any questions you want. I'll tell you everything you want to know. Big Z. See ya.